Yo, hey guys, SmallmouthCrush. We're going to talk about the tube today, specifically the Get Bit Baits tube, and some of the different colors and sizes that I use on a regular basis. If you're new to tube fishing, if you haven't thrown a lot of tubes, this is going to be a great video to kind of give you a crash course when it comes to how I fish a tube a lot of times. Now, they're not just for smallmouth. I've caught plenty of largemouth. I use a tube for largemouth a lot as well, but when I'm out on the smallmouth bodies of water, I'm always going to have some sort of tube tied on. And we're going to actually go out on the water, show you a couple fish catches, and then we'll come back in here and really break some things down as we proceed through this video. Hope you guys enjoy.
Now we have some good boulders right here and a fish. So let's drop the pole down. We're going to try to catch a couple of these here. There's a bite. Nice. It was on a nice little boulder clump. I mean, he's 5 pounds. I guess he's decent. Yeah, I was just bringing it over that boulder clump, and we got him to bite. And that's not a bad fish at all. There we go. I'm just curious what this one weighs. 4 pounds, 14 ounces, so not a true 5, but close. So Get Bit baits have a variety of different tubes. You have a bite? No? Okay. Which I love to use. 2 3/4. Your standard tubes. A lot of great colors. A lot of great colors. Green pumpkin copper is one of my favorites. Color called leech. You want to check out the leech color as well. It's a little different. There's not a lot of guys throwing that leech color, and I've had a lot of good luck with it. Straight black. Go check out their website, look at all the tubes. I mean, every tube in here, that's what I use. All of them. And I'll have discount codes in the description as well for you with these. So if you're interested in trying these tubes, picking them up. I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos know I love these tubes, and I'm sure a lot of you have used them already. I just have extreme confidence in these tubes, and it's really cool playing around with these custom colors that I came out with in the Get Bit Baits lineup. You know, this green pumpkin smoked purple tail, I use that a lot for largemouth as well, believe it or not, and it works extremely well in those applications too. Definitely some good rockages out here. There's a fish. Where are you at, buddy? There you are. Right where? That's him right there. Okay. I done landed real close to you. Real close. It's not as easy using live scope in shallow water. I have better success out deep with it, but it does, I mean, I could pick them up here. There's no doubt I can pick them up, but my 360 is really valuable in these situations. You could do it with live scope alone, but it's a lot of moving around with that transducer constantly. This just full 360 sweep. I can see when I'm coming across some stuff. It just makes it a lot more convenient. Oh gosh, there's a good one. Right, maybe there. Maybe. He's right up here. They look like walleye. Yep, walleye.
All right, obviously if you're fishing around walleye with a tube, it's a great bait for walleye, so we're gonna accidentally catch a few of those. But when you purchase these get bit baits, they're gonna come in a bag like this. And I'm actually gonna show you how I rig this. So I just take a 2.75 tube. This is actually dark melon, one of my favorite colors of all time when it comes to fishing a tube. And I'm gonna use some sort of tube insert. I'm really liking these Great Lakes Finesse tube inserts. And they're designed to keep the hook positioned up. And what's nice about these is the shorter shank. You're going to get less shake-offs. A lot of times when you're fishing tubes, one of the problems is when that fish jumps way out there, they're going to shake off. They're going to throw the hook. This hook has been working exceptionally well for me. And the way this is designed is actually going to come through the structure a lot better. You can get less hang-ups, and the hook is really stout. And it's designed for these smaller size tubes, 1.5 to 2.75 inches, somewhere in there. And the hook really is what sets us apart. Is this hook is truly, I mean, you'll see in the video here coming up, I don't lose any fish with this tube insert. So right now they're only available in 3/8 and 1/4. Go as light as possible for most situations. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tentacles here of the tube. I'm going to put that tube insert right inside and push that through. Push the hole there to tie the line, and that's perfect right there. That is the setup for these finesse tubes, these smaller tubes. And then, of course, check the description below. I will have some codes to help you save some money if you are going to purchase from Great Lakes Finesse as well.
There he is. Nice. That tube hook is legit. Man. For sure. I feel like I'm running out of rock if I go right. Here we go. Here's some good rock. I remember this area now. There's like little veins of rock. And you really got to be on it. I'm not saying they're not going to utilize this clean bottom, but they love a little bit of hard rock mixed in. Anchor lock, make a nice long cast. I just see some really good structure right out here. There, yeah, that's some good stuff right there. I should get a bite. Man, whenever that rod tip just is banging, I'm like constantly going over this here. This is where they should be. I'm expecting a bite. There he is. Whoa, 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 whoa. This appears to be a nice, oh, wow. Yeah, this is a 5. That's a 5-pounder. It's an old fish there. Oh, come here, 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 come here. Nice. Wow, look at that guy. That's a good one there. That's a good one. Look at how that Great Lakes Finesse tube insert, that hook, got him perfect. She's 5 pounds. Oh man, that's a good boulder. I went right over the dang thing. Well, the wind is kicking up. Yeah, I've had a lot of comments, questions of people asking me about this Camus and how it runs in rough water. Unbelievable. This is the best rough riding boat I've ever owned. No doubt. I promise you, I'm not just saying that. This boat runs rough waves, rough water extremely well. Eric gets a little concerned in big water, and he rode this boat, and he was impressed. He was really impressed. All right, come on, where is the rock? I gotta go back this way, I guess. No, that's a bass. Another 5-pounder. All right. Nice. Heavy. It's a heavy one.
All right, I feel like we need to talk a little bit about this setup. I'm using St. Croix rods. I really love the St. Croix Legend Extreme. So that's a rod I was using in this video. 7'6" medium or a 7-foot medium really depends on your style and what you're trying to accomplish with fishing a tube. The 7'6" for me, especially open water, it's going to allow me to make a lot longer cast. I'm going to be able to get that tube way out there, away from the boat, but I'm also going to be able to fish it in a number of different ways. So obviously in this video here, I was dragging the bottom. I was just moving it slowly, shaking it at times, dead sticking it for a little bit, just trying to feel that rock and move that bait along the bottom. So I'm just scooting along the bottom, imitating the crayfish, goby, whatever you want to try to imitate down there with these tubes. So one of the reasons why I like the 7'6", because not only can I drag the tube on the bottom, but I also fish a tube. There's so many different ways to fish a tube. One of them's called what they call cracking a tube, and that's where you're actually ripping that tube up off the bottom, or for suspended fish in the water column. And it could be hard bottom. You could be ripping it through vegetation, which works really well. And so I really like that 7'6" to be able to rip that. Now, if you're fishing around tight structure, maybe man-made structure, say docks or rocks or whatever the case may be, kind of in an area where you're limited on the, I guess, how far you can make a cast, that 7-foot really comes into play. For me, that 7'6" is just a little too long, especially if I'm fishing in, like I say, a marina. I'm going to go with that 7-foot. So really, it's totally your call. I use both. I rotate both. But if I'm in open water, I really like that 7'6". And of course, you know, Legend Extremes, they're at the high end, right, of rods. St. Croix makes a great tube rod. The Victory Series rods, anything in that medium, that'll be a little bit more affordable. But if you can afford it, the higher end rod is going to give you a lot more sensitivity. Anytime I'm throwing a bottom bait, something that I'm working on the bottom quite a bit, I really want the highest sensitivity rod that I can afford. So as far as the line, I actually use Cortland Master Braid. This is going to be 8-pound braided line. They make a lot of sizes for everything from, I mean, I got them all. 5-pound, 8-pound, 80-pound, right? Depending on the situation. Obviously, I'm not throwing the tube on 80-pound, but this stuff is amazing. A lot of great color choices depending on what you prefer. I really like high vis yellow. I like the moss green. I also like the white. So I'll use white quite a bit if I'm throwing like any bait that's going to be horizontal in the water column, moving through the water column. So my swim jigs, my swim baits, any type of grub, anything that I'm going to be swimming, jerk bait. If I want to use braid, I'm going to use that white Cortland Master Braid for those applications. So Get Bit baits, they make a large amount of different colors. Almost too many, right? I'm not going to be able to carry them all. So when I do go to a body of water, I'm going to bring my tube box, and it's going to have my standard sizes and colors. Okay, let's go through the different tube sizes and colors that I carry with me pretty much all the time. These are ones that I have extreme confidence in. And of course, the 2.75, this one gets the most use, that size. I also like what they're calling the finesse tube or a slender tube. So that's what is that, 3.5 inches, but it's a lot more narrower than some of your other tubes that you might be used to throwing. And so I do use that finesse tube quite a bit. So also the 3.5 double dip tube. So it's a little bit larger tube. And a lot of times when I throw that 3.5 inch, the double dipped, I'm actually throwing it on a Carolina rig. So I'll Carolina rig a tube quite a bit. And that's going to be my tube size of choice when I'm fishing that application. And then they also have what's called the tiny tube, the 2.5 inch tube. And so I'll carry a variety of these. There's different ways to store your tubes. I mean, you could take these bags and put in another bag or a soft, or you could use like a soft container to store these in as well. I just take them out and I put them all in this 3700. And then I can just see when I'm getting low on inventory and I'll just refill them. And so some of the main colors that we need to talk about, of course, are melon. I really like that dark melon. I carry them in all 4 different sizes. That's how much I love it, right? Your finesse, your 2.75, your 3.5 double dip, and then your finesse tube right there. Another tube color, it's called leech. You can definitely want to throw leech a lot. I throw it quite a bit. So if you're trying to mimic crayfish, a lot of times this green pumpkin copper is my go-to choice. Also, if you're in a little bit dirtier, stained water, a lot of inland lakes that we fish, they're not crystal clear. They're not like the Great Lakes. They have some stain to it. And if that's the case, between that leech and that green pumpkin copper, those are the ones I would suggest. Of course, I'm going to carry smoke purples. I'm going to have smoke purples. Amber purple, great tube color. And then that green pumpkin with the smoke purple tail is really, really good. We got a little bit of brown purple flake in it. It's also just a straight black tube. And when you go on their website, they have a lot of other different plastics. They have a lot. I use some of their finesse worms. Their flipping tube, they make a 4-inch. They make a jumbo tube, a 5-inch. So if you want, go to town, experiment a little bit with some of their baits and different plastics that they make. So you see how nice a fresh tube looks. This is the tube that I caught a few fish on recently, and it's all beat up. It actually got beat up to the point where the tube insert kept coming out of the head, and so I had to retire that. But the more beat up, chewed up, roughed up the bait gets, sometimes it seems like the better the bait actually works. So you don't have to go through a lot of these tubes. Like if yours gets roughed up, keep throwing it. I promise you it's gonna catch them. That's the reason why it's all beat up, because it has been catching fish.
There is one sitting on it. I feel like I'm going to run into him because he's moving that way. There he is. No walleye. Well, you will catch some walleyes from time to time on the tube.
So I'm going to give you one more important tip with the tube. I've been really experimenting with scent over the last year or two, and I almost feel like I have to have it on now because it's such a confidence booster. I've caught plenty of fish over the years just taking a plastic out of the package and throwing it out there and fishing it. But I just feel like I want to be able to control everything, all the variables that I can control, because there's so many things when it comes to fishing that we can't. And so if scent is one of them, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to apply it, often enough that I just feel like it's giving off the right scent for that environment. So my scent of choice right now, I'm really big into Procure, and I like their gel, their super gel. I actually did a custom scent, actually 2 of them. One's for tidal water fishing. We have the tidal water special. So if you're going to be fishing for largemouth and or smallmouth in tidal conditions, James River, Chesapeake Bay, Potomac. I mean, there's so many different tidal bodies of water. This has got a really unique blend that I know is going to help you catch more fish, especially on tidal water. But when we talk smallmouth, we created the Smallmouth Magic Gel. And all I would do here is with the tube insert in, I would pop that open. I would squirt some scent right into the hollow cavity of the tube, as well as just wipe a little bit on the sides. You can marinate these if you want. You can pour some of this gel into the bags and just move them around and get it soaking. But I would certainly pick up some of this. We'll have a link in the description for that as well. And let me know what your thoughts are on this this custom scent, because a lot of thought went into the special blend for these specific bodies of water that I fish.
There should be a fish on this. God, that felt like one. It might be, it is. Oh, how big are you? Jeez. That's the one. Another good fish. Boom. Huh. Well, there you go. Get yourself some Get Bit baits. Try these custom colors. SmallmouthCrush approved. Great Lakes Finesse tube insert. Beautiful smallmouth. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave any likes and comments, please. I'm gonna go find a few other things to do today. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.